I have been using Himi gouache for 6 months now, and I'm gonna talk about some things I learned throughout the process. So, what is gouache? Gouache is a type of paint that is thick, water based, and has a matte finish. It is similar to watercolor, but it is more opaque and has bright, vibrant colors. You can mix it with water to make it easier to use and it dries quickly. If you want to work with gouache, you have to keep some things in mind and some techniques you have to keep in mind. As I said, gouache is kind of watercolor but opaque and thick. So in watercolor, what happens in watercolor, we cannot remove any mistakes if we do any mistake, and we cannot cover it up with paint. But in gouache we can do that. We can paint over dark areas with light colors. I'm going to show it just in a bit. Gouache is water based. You can mix gouache with water just like watercolor to make it easier or as your preference. Gouache gives matte finish to your painting unlike acrylic and oil colors, and it looks really realistic and in my opinion really pretty. Here, as you can see, I painted straight out of tube from left side and with water on right side. On the left side it looks really dark and bright, but on the right side with mixed with water it looks lighter. You can go with lighter color on top of dark color, but you have to keep in mind that gouache is a water soluble paint, and if you like smudge too much with water or paint, it will mix with the color underneath. So you have to keep that in mind and go really steady hands and be careful with it. As you can see, it completely covers the dark color underneath with the light color, and now I'm showing you that you can mix these two things on the paper and make another color. Most artists like to use gouache to make painting or illustration because they can use gouache however they like. To be honest, I bought gouache for the hype all over my social media, and I also wanted to try. But when I started my journey with gouache, it was really hard. I didn't know a single thing about how gouache works, and I was struggling really bad. I mean, I was really kind of I was being depressed. I was like, why I can paint good with acrylic color, but in gouache I couldn't even start painting good. I mean, every time I take the paint and put it on paper, it looks really bad. I didn't know what was wrong and everything, but working with gouache I learned these things, and now I know how to work with gouache, and I made quite a lot of paintings with it, and I can't wait to share it with you guys, whoever is gonna watch this. So, and another thing I'm facing right now is my gouache paint is becoming dry. I mean, you can reactivate with water, but the problem is it's getting mold. I kept them aside so that other paints doesn't get mold. Another thing about gouache is some of the colors look lighter on the tube, but when you use it on paper, when it dries down, it looks a bit darker, and some of the colors look darker in the palette and looks lighter in the paper. And here you can see all the colors are dried out and it looks really matte. So that is it for today. See you in my next video.